I'm sitting. So Claire, my friend, just, all right, okay, let him go on. And he walked onto this huge stage. It's a big barn of a place. And as soon as he walked on, I kind of went, oh. Before he'd said anything, it's like, oh. And he just looked terrified. I mean, just absolutely terrified. And actually, some of his material was actually quite good.
Okay.
And they weren't giving him a bad time. But he was so frightened. And after a while, he kept just walking around the stage with a mic going, this is a really big stage. This is a really big stage. He said, I don't know how I'm going to finish this, so maybe I'll just leave. And he just literally dropped the mic and literally ran off stage. And the compere is a very well-known British comedian called Arthur Smith. What was that it? Oh, okay. Oh, well, thank you very much. Good. Are we on?
No.
So, the finish at the end of the story, the end of the anecdote, is that I heard that he got the next available flight back to Australia. Not the next day, the next available flight. He didn't hang around for the rest of the show. He just essentially went straight back to Heathrow and left the country.
Oh, poor mate.
Talk about stage fright.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well.
Poor mate.
Grim.
Well, I think that, to be honest, somehow there are people that are born with basically no stage fright whatsoever.
Peter Sellers was like that.
I can relate to that as much. I don't feel nervous to be in front of people, to talk in public. I am very anxious about many things, but not for some reason, not that. It doesn't matter to me. Maybe because I don't feel like I belong in the performance world. Like, that's not my world. Like, I feel like I don't care if I do well or bad.
You know that makes you slightly abnormal. You know that.
No, because I think that, let's say, if you're not really, let's say, competing or anything like that to do anything, like, I've never taken that as a serious thing for me. So that's why whenever I do it, for me, it's just like, yay, I get to do it. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what happens with it.
So you're like collecting experience.
Exactly. I'm just doing it for me, basically. So therefore, I don't care. Like that day, if that's why I was surprised when people laughed. I was like, oh, people laughed. So cool.
My father was thrown off the bill early on in his career. His first professional job when he's out of the army. He was thrown off the bill in a theatre in Bolton in the north of England. This is in 1946.
Boy.
And this is his first professional gig because he's been a comedian in the army.
Bienvenidos a Quebrando La Inercia. Este es el podcast de Jagua. Como ya sabrán, aquí tenemos como que 3 o 4 minutos hablando en inglés y yo lo lamento por ustedes. Pero si usted escucha este podcast, usted debería saber inglés. De lo contrario, lo lamento. Este es el podcast de Jagua y a partir de ahora mismo cambiamos a completamente inglés a menos que se me zafe una palabra. So, we have David Secombe.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Very nice to be here.
And Melisa, his wife. So David from London to
That's right.
Santo Domingo.
Yes.
So yeah, well, last week we have a storm. We didn't have the opportunity to see the sun.
No.
In a couple of days, so maybe you feel like the good old days in
well,
London
it's,
when the sun don't comes down.
Well,
don't goes up.
I actually wrote to. I've had quite a few messages from friends who actually, because it was the big story in the UK, but mainly because it was hitting Jamaica. But then they kind of noticed, we know someone in the Dominican Republic. We should check if he's all right. You know. And so, I wrote to that. I said, well, actually, I quite like Santo Domingo in the rain because it's a bit like London in the rain. It kind of looks a little more like London than
Yeah.
So
then in a sunny day,
I don't think that's a good way.
Like what part? Maybe the clouds. Maybe
not the clouds. It's a really, really overcrowded city.
Yes,
and it's not prepared to be overcrowded.
No. I mean, it's I think it's bits of where we live reminds me of places I used to live in London in a funny kind of way.
You like football?
No. Sorry about that.
Well, yeah,
It's closed down a whole avenue.
I told him his friends were a bit like, 2 weeks too late, because they actually worried when they saw it hitting Jamaica. And, the Dominican Republic is not exactly very well geolocated in the minds of people from the United Kingdom.
I'm afraid not.
They are not. They don't really have a clear, location. So they were like, oh my God, there's a hurricane in Jamaica. And they're worried about David. I'm like, yeah, they should have been worried. Maybe
they speak English in Jamaica. So that's part of it, I think.
Well, yeah, English. Yeah, but I'm unable to understand people speaking
in Jamaica. Yeah, that's
like
it's
speaking like.
Well,
like,
I guess it's the same with our Spanish and Castilian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I can't comment, but yeah, that's it's come from London. It's a sort of it's a place with Jamaican, Afro-Caribbean culture is very kind of important in that town. So it's a sort of...
They're still part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of the country, even Africa, is still part of the Commonwealth. They even have the Commonwealth Games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But there was a disconnection from the Queen, right? That in Jamaica, they don't have the Queen anymore as their...
The Queen has died. I mean,
true. The Queen,
the King. I don't know how to break
we
this
have
to you.
Yeah, I know. No, not the Queen.
We're still getting used to we have a king now. But most of our life, we
Poor
had a
Charles.
queen.
Yeah,
I mean, no.
We
the world. Yes.
Yeah, we the world.
I told you we like the monarchy here. But no, the question is like the monarchy is something that Jamaica disconnected from politically or something like that, wasn't it?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were trying.
Same with Barbados.
Sorry?
Mm-hmm.
Same with Barbados.
Yeah, they made Rihanna there, wasn't it? No,
yeah, Rihanna was there. Yeah.
Now she's the queen now. It's true, or something like that.
I've been to Barbados. I haven't been to Jamaica. But
so you were born in the early 60s.
Yeah, I was. Yes. I'm very old.
Not that old.
Well, but yeah, born in London. Lived most of my life in London. This is maybe the longest I've been anywhere out. No, that's not quite true. But it's certainly the longest I've spent anywhere outside the country, I think.
Well, the first time I contacted your wife was because I was in love with your Instagram account.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
yeah,
it's very kind.
Drinkers History.
Drinkers History. Yeah.
That's the coolest name I ever had for an Instagram account. I'm also a historian. I really like history. I'm a big fan of history. I also mix history with comedy in my writings.
Very good.
Also mix comedy in my performance.
Excellent.
I really don't know how to make a joke in English.
Well, I'm sure you have a better purchase on humor in English than I do. Humor in Spanish. I mean, so I think you win that one hands down. I think you could sort of, if you've done a stand-up routine in English, I think you're ahead of the game, frankly.
True.
But you are a writer.
Yes.
And you've written comedies, plays.
Well, I have, yes, but not ones that have actually sort of had any great sort of circulation. I started as I don't know if you know the origin of the Drinkers History. The name is because I had a blog for a while called The Drinkers History of London, and it was it was me writing up stuff to do with stories about London. Mixed with my own experiences and the experiences of friends of mine in pubs, in bars, and I tried after a while. I thought it started as kind of a joke, and then I thought, well, actually, hang on, maybe there's something here, because the idea of if you've got drink is so important to Londoners. I mean, it really is, and I just looked at it. It was actually. It's a 2,000-year-old city, and it's just built on a river of booze, because apart from anything else, beer, spirits, gin, they were sort of safer things to drink than water, up to a point. And then all the you look into it, think and the way the slums developed, around the kind of, the how gin was really cheap, and think, actually, you know what, whole decades of London's history is all about trying to sort out the gin drinkers. How are we going to sort this out? This is kind of a problem.
Oh, of course, because when you think about swimming, the Tamar is in the last place.
Yeah. So I mean, and so anyway, so that was the word. So I did for a while blog this thing, and it's not up anymore because there was talk of a book. So I thought, well, I was advised to take it down. So there may be a book in the works. There may not. I mean, I have used some of the material for a play that I've just written since I've been here. At this rate, I might use some of the material for an opera or a ballet. I mean, where this is going to end up, who knows? But yeah, that's the drinker's history. That's where it came from. It was kind of contraction. If you look early on in the kind of, the stuff I put up, there's lots more to do with, drinking and weird stuff.
Yeah, but you also mix the story with a photo.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, wow, the English is so, I don't know how to say, marketable. Because drinker history sounds greater, way better than Historia de Borracho. It's not Historia de Borracho, it's like drinker's history.
Yes.
Well, actually, the idea is, I think, well, it's like it's it's the history of drinkers. It's also my history. So there's, there's lots of my stuff I was writing about, which, as I say, is going to go somewhere, this material. But just the things that were stories that friends of mine told and things that we did together. So some of that stuff, you kind of contextualize it. That was the idea.
So you got to research some. I'm sorry. You got to research some prominent, let's say, writers, or that actually had important passages in their books about their drinking habits and things like that.
They're all drunks. I mean, people like obviously Dylan Thomas and so Julian McLaren Ross was the other one. These people who just lived in pubs. I mean, they were there. Because London, look, in Paris they had the writers' cafes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and Sartre and all those people in the 14th stuff. London had the writers' pub, so the equivalent of the mid-century kind of thing in London was the pub. And so in places like Fitzrovia, which is just north of Soho, which is kind of between the BBC and the Ministry of Information, as it was.
Gotcha.
You'd have a couple of these pubs were just like, wall-to-wall genius. And you had Dylan Thomas, and Julian McLaren Ross, and Louis MacNeice, George Orwell, all these people just coming in and kind of bitching about each other and sort of, who's sleeping with who, and and Augustus John, the painter, he's like, his mistress is shacked up with Dylan Thomas and he's paying the bill with the hotel around the corner. And it's just this, and that's just, and the painter's a whole other thing. And, but just this, everything focusing around pubs, the pubs being the kind of cultural headquarters. That's really interesting to me, and I think that's something. It's gone now. It doesn't happen now, but for a while that was really a thing in London. And talk about New York culture. That doesn't have the same thing. It doesn't. And Paris is all about the cafes. It's different. It's something to do with the actual drinking culture. And of course, some of it was that. These people drank themselves to death frequently. Some of these things did not end well, but. But you think, well, how could these works of art, could these books, could these paintings have been produced under any other circumstances? So I became very interested in that. I don't really have an art. I don't think they could. In some cases, the paintings of Francis Bacon, and there's I never went there, thankfully, but there was a bar, a private bar, a drinking club.
Okay.
Called the Colony Room in Soho. And it was a drinking club, members only club. So people could go there at a time when drinking hours were, restricted in London. So you couldn't, not like now you can kind of drink all day, but there was a time when you couldn't.
Was a kind of curfew?
Yeah. And they'd close at the most inconvenient times. They close at about 2:30, and they wouldn't open again until about 5.
Oh boy.
What is an alcoholic going to do in those hours? I mean, you have to go to a private bar. If this is a serious problem. So places like the Colony Room were there for the hardcore, people. And so there are stories. I mean, there's a photographer that I know, this terrific guy called Angus Forbes, and Angus. I mean, if he hears this, bless you, Angus. But he's got a couple of wonderful. He doesn't drink anymore.
Okay.
He's a recovering alcoholic. But he's
That's good to know.
It is a good. Well, yeah. But he has got this most amazing photo of Francis Bacon in the Colony Room. But the story about how it all looks very civilized, but he wanted to use the photo in a particular way, and Francis Bacon went berserk, and the kind of lengths to which these people would actually kind of go, the kind of all of a sudden, the atmosphere would turn really kind of nasty. And Angus said to me, well, the thing about the Colony Room is that, very many afternoons ended in tears, was the way he put it. Go to the Colony Room. And apparently there's a great story actually that Angus didn't tell me this, but it's a story about Francis.
Hold on. I mean, this is a way better definition that I had in my head. Because when I say drinker history, I was like, imagine some British guy, like say, okay, I'm out of ideas. Let's go to drink, guys. Let's go to the Brave Gold or something like that. Let's go to the Brave Gold or something like that.
The Brave Gold. I like
let's go to drink. Next day, okay, the London Column. But this is actually nice.
These guys lived in the bars, really. But I must admit, it's my favorite Francis Bacon story. I can tell you, whether they use it or not. But he was in the Colony Room, or maybe one of the Soho pubs. It might have been like the French House, which is still there, or the Coach and Horses. Those pubs still exist. And Bacon was in there, and this very earnest American painter came up to him and said, "Mr. Bacon, I'd like you to come to my studio. I'd like to show you my paintings." Bacon, it's quite politely said, "No, I don't think so. I don't think so." And this guy was very persistent. "No, I really don't think so." And eventually Bacon said to him, "I don't need to see your paintings. I've seen your tie."
Gosh.
So I think that's, and I mean, look, I don't think, as I say, it's something that interests me because I don't know how unique, because everyone drinks, every culture has drink to some extent or other. But I think if you look at Francis Bacon's paintings, I really do, there's something very London about them. And I think that they talk about the school of London painters. And they were, I mean, Lucian Freud, he died not long ago. I mean, he's another one. I think he's even scarier in some respects. Constantly dodging sort of gangsters because he owed people money and stuff like that.
Boy.
Even though he's a millionaire. I mean, these characters are, there's something about the city, but it's a lot cleaner now. It's a lot more, you can't smoke in pubs, which is healthier. But I think it has affected the atmosphere. I mean, literally affects the atmosphere because it's not smoky anymore. But and pubs like the Coach and Horses in Soho is a very famous pub. It is still going, but it's not quite the same because that was like a journalist's pub and a writer's pub, and a sort of it became a place of legend, and it's one of those things where until quite recently you could go to London if you wanted to actually just get a real kind of hit, a mainline hit of kind of absolute core London sort of media culture, just to walk in the Coach and Horses. And you'd be tripping over legends who are often on the floor, I mean, it's an amazing thing, but it's not quite the same now. Is this good or bad? Discuss.
Yeah. I was going to ask. Is that good or bad?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't drink. Well, I don't drink very much. No.
What's your favorite drink?
Well,
like plain drink.
my favorite. Well, I mean, I think at home. I mean, I like a thing called Guinness. I don't know if you've heard of that, which is a sort of a black beer, stout. It's called. I like that very much. Or gin. I like gin very much.
You like, I'm an islander from the Caribbean, so I like rum.
Rum is lovely, but the problem with rum is that it's brown, and brown drinks are dangerous.
Yeah, I can tell.
I mean, this is the thing. I mean, this is actually one of the stories that's I have told to my own, against myself really is that going back a few years when it was Christmas time. Oh, I don't know, 15 years ago or something, Christmas time, and there was a brief moment when there was a repeal on drinking hours, and they'd extended drinking hours. It didn't actually last very long, but it was the pubs were open until sort of gone midnight. And I was with a friend of mine, and we were walking back to Charing Cross station. And we were walking past a wonderful pub called the Salisbury. It's a beautiful, beautiful pub. And we just drunk 4 bottles of wine between us. And we said, should we go to Salisbury just for a quick one? So we went into the Salisbury. And my friend Andrew is very passionate about certain subjects like, the decline of the English novel and the guitarists of the Rolling Stones and things like that. And he's been very, very forceful, and God knows what he was talking about. But anyway, he was very forceful. And we had a couple of brandies. And I think the brandies are always, yeah. So anyway, we came out of the pub and he fell over, in a kind of very thoughtful way. He's a novelist and he fell over as only a kind of writer can. So I sort of helped him up. We got to the Charing Cross station and he went, on a tube to North London. I got on the train home. And I don't really remember getting home. I did get home. And I woke up and thought, what happened? Where am I? I've got everything. Yeah, everything's fine. And so it was very quiet, peaceful. I just had a bit of a headache. So I wrote an email to Andrew to see how he was. Did you get home all right? Maybe? And about 5 o'clock that afternoon, he sent me an email. He said, I fell over again when I got out an archway. He said, and I was helped up by someone.
Boy.
And he said, I walked up the hill. He lives in Highgate. There's a steep hill to Highgate. And he said, and then I got in and I sat in my office chair, unable to take off my overcoat for about 3 hours, and then was sick into a box of papers I was supposed to send to my accountant.
No.
And then he said, those brandies were, on balance, a mistake.
No.
So anything brown spirits, I don't really do anymore.
And again, I can tell. I was insulting a big-ass bouncer, drunk as fuck, from Ron. He was willing to beat the shit out of me. But thanks God I have my best friend by my side. I say, don't worry, it's just drunk. You are used to it. And he was like, yeah, I'm used to it. He saved my ass. After that night, I promised to never drink again. But I was 19. Of course I drank.
Well, I think if you're 19, you can get away with it. It's when you're a middle-aged man. I think that's the thing. If you're a middle-aged man and you're passed out in the street or you're sick on a tube train or whatever, you kind of think, maybe I've made a few poor life decisions along the way.
What do you think?
Maybe this isn't quite, what I had in mind for myself when I was younger.
Yeah.
Also, when I was talking to you, I saw your name, of course, and your last name. I was like, nah. Was it? Nah. Then I went to Wikipedia. Okay, Harry Secombe, son, children. David. Okay, writer and photographer. Okay, it's definitely him. He's in my country for some reason. I will have him. Anyway.
Yes, that's me.
And I was talking to your wife. I say, look, I want him in my podcast. And that was like 2 years ago. Like
Yeah,
Was it as long ago as that?
well,
Yeah.
maybe no. I think it was less than when you told me. I think
it was like
a year ago.
but you were in
I was-
England. You were in England, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so we ran into each other again after that. I was in that pub.
Actually, in a pub. It's the Bulldog pub.
Yeah,
Still in the pub.
one of the very few pubs we have here.
Okay.
So
There's
coincidentally.
a pub downstairs, and when I do comedy, it's the Green Room.
Oh, right.
Oh,
right,
that's
right,
where the
right.
green room is.
Yep.
Okay, because I was in a birthday party that day. I had never been. So
So we were we were building the green room. We were doing some. The place was not open yet.
Mhm.
Hey, but the kind of Irish pub downstairs was open, so sure, why not drink? So why not have a couple of drinks? Yeah,
Why
sure.
not?
With a couple of comedians yelling at each other, drunk. Because why not? But I'm 29, and you see me as you're super young, but right now it doesn't feel the same as 19.
oh, of course
It
now
doesn't feel the same as like 10 years
No.
ago. Like 10
No.
years ago, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna mix gin with rum and
Ooh,
and
no,
all
no.
and all the stuff. Drinking a shot like with the name your fucking mother, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna drink your fucking mother. And then I got the other stuff, your fucking life. Your fucking life is your fucking mother with hot sauce. And
Yeah,
then
that sounds like 19-year-old stuff for
and
sure.
then taste the devil's spit. The devil's spit is not even in the menu. And I was like, I want the devil's spit. The bartender say, "Are you sure?" My 19-year-old say, "Of course I want it." Here you go, the devil's spit. Here's water, but I didn't order water. I know that comes from the house.
Please take it.
And I was like,
And sign
"Sure."
this paper.
Boom. They were like, boom. No way. It was like a song of Pink Floyd song in my head. Hello, hello, yeah. Is there anybody in there? Of course, I drank all the water. But yeah, my drinker's history is like a 19-year-old me doing stupid stuff.
Mhm.
You know, you have some fancy stories
Yeah.
Well, you know.
in a very very fine English.
Oh yes.
Well, thank you very much.
Well,
But-
to answer a little bit your maybe rhetorical question of how the hell is he here? We don't know. Well, the reason why David is here is because I lived in London for 1 year, and David was the owner of the house where I rented a room, and that's how we met and became first friends for many years. And eventually, now
If we reconnect, actually
Then-
via Instagram, we reconnected via Instagram.
You became friend with your landlord. That's
I
Yeah.
did.
Wow.
I literally.
I mean, you're supposed to hate that guy.
I know, but it was a particular setting because David had a house where I think he was very careful to pick the people that lived there because he lived in the house too. It was not just renting, but the house was big enough. It was a 3-story house.
What?
4 stories. Actually.
4 stories. That's true.
Oh, show off.
Is this?
I don't have it anymore, sadly. If I had, oh, yeah.
So it's like these row houses in London that are very relatively thin but very very tall.
Oh yeah.
So pretty much every floor is just a room and then
Okay.
a stair. It's a very interesting kind of layout. So that allows for people to basically live in a small tiny apartment inside of the house, which so-
that's the kind of buildings that have a super
steep.
steep
Yeah, it was
stairs.
quite tall,
The kind of
yeah.
stairs that's like, oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna do
Not
it.
as bad.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go downstairs.
Yeah.
It was a bit
Drunk.
like that.
I'm gonna make it drunk.
No, well, this is it. I mean, actually, this is the thing. You see, because it's kind of a long story, but I'll give you a short version. But not long before Melissa moved in, because she was studying at Goldsmith College, which
Mhm.
was a famous college just around the corner. From
Literally,
the house.
like
A short walk.
yeah.
And but actually, the most of the people that I had living with me were people that had been recommended to me by friends or actual friends whose marriages had broken up. Because that's why I was in the house on my own, because my marriage had broken up, and so I had this big house for a while. So I started taking in people, and it gradually kind of grew, and some of it did get quite like a film. I mean, because one friend of mine, very dear friend of mine, we're still friends. His marriage broke up, and I'm not going to use any names, but he moved in, and he had this very complex love life. I mean, really complicated.
Oh.
And he had 3 women on the go at the same time.
Boy.
And first of all, he said, look at what? He said, I'm not going to bring them around here. They've got their own places. I can go there. Well, that didn't. Yeah, right. Yeah. So there were weeks when all 3 came round on consecutive nights. So you'd be in the in the kitchen, which was kind of underground level because it's kind of it was at the back where the garden was. So you come in the street, get up, and you come in, and you see these kind of legs coming down. You go, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Oh, hello. How are you? And of course, they all got to kind of hear about each other. And of course, there was all this kind of, and very often there were these kind of nights where, I mean, the people in the middle of the night, I would encounter weeping women going, "Does she come here? Does she come here?" I said, I don't know who you mean. I couldn't possibly, you know. And so,
No, of course not.
Of course not. And yeah, no, it had a very kind of baroque kind of sensibility. And one of my other friends, who's passed away sadly, there was one memorable week where he was coming from the country, and he had this big barrel of locally made cider. You know cider?
What is cider?
Cider is fermented apple juice.
Sidra.
Okay. Cider.
Yeah,
Mhm.
gotcha. And it was very, very strong. And I had a bottle of Calvados.
Cider with alcohol?
Super strong cider.
Boy.
And apple juice, fermented, do you know apple brandy, which is what I had, which is a Calvados, which is a French drink. So we were drinking cider with apple brandy.
Oh boy.
And yeah, it was, as someone once said, it was like,
How'd it go?
putting your liver on a pole at the bottom of the garden and throwing darts at it.
Oh my goodness.
So it's some very, very memorable times in that house. And then
By the time I got there, the environment was a little bit more wholesome, I have to say. I was in my mid-20s back then.
it wasn't quite as
Yeah, I was studying my master's, and the crowd was a little different. By the time I got there, it was more like students, and so there was an actress who did very well. She did very well. Yeah, she did very well. And
More wholesome environment. It's easy when the standard is a womanizer with 3 chicks in a row.
Well, he was like a kind of specimen. All the younger women, the younger girls would kind of go,
"Oh boy, it's like people say, I'm taller than you. You're taller than me. Well, what a big achievement."
do you know what his line was? His line was, if me or Tom, who's the other guy's looking at, if we ever kind of looked at him, he's just, you're only jealous. You're just jealous. You just want to be like me.
Do we?
Do we? Do we really? Do we?
So yeah, you are David Secombe's son.
Yes.
Mhm.
I was like, oh my god, he's a pioneer of, how can I say, radio comedy.
Oh yeah.
It's like radio comedy is way different, like the performance and the stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
Radio comedy, people forget that voice acting is actually acting.
Mhm.
Yes.
And sometimes people think it's easy or easier than actually going on stage, and it's not exactly like that.
No.
And this guy, David Secombe, he had a great voice.
Oh yeah. Singer as well. Yeah.
He was also a singer. He was a tenor.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
If I Rule the World.
If I Rule the World, that's right. Yeah, no, he had what was used to be called. They used to call in Britain. They used to call it like an all-round entertainer. It's like so he'd do different things. Quite an old-fashioned kind of model. But the story, I mean, very quickly for people who don't know, because I don't know who's going to be watching this show, but he met a guy called Spike Milligan who was an authentic genius.
Yep.
And they met in the army. They met in North Africa, right? I won't even get into that. It's too long.
They were performing for the forces, right?
Yeah, but they met before that because Spike was in charge of an artillery gun and it fell over a cliff, and he came looking for it. That's not a long story. So that's when they met. And after the war, just after the war, my father was doing shows, variety shows. He'd done a little bit of radio at the BBC, doing these various shows. He was on a show called one thing he did was called Educating Archie, which was a ventriloquist on the radio, ventriloquist doll, and lots of famous comedians got their start on that show. And one of the ones he met on the show was Peter Sellers, and he introduced Peter to Spike because they both came to see him at the Hackney Empire, the place I was telling you about earlier. They came to see my father perform there, a place which Spike referred to as a fucking death hole. And my father did quite well there. And Peter and Spike hit it off immediately. And so a lot of the Goon Show kind of humor, because Spike wrote the scripts.
Yep.
I mean, almost completely.
Also, Milligan, with the work of Milligan, it began to many producers start valuing the writers. I mean, Milligan changed the game for the writers.
He did. Yes, he did.
He changed the game for the script writers.
Yeah.
Like the Goon Show changed the game for radio comedy.
Well, I asked I talked to my father about this, and he said that the attitude, I think a lot of it was to do with the post-war world, where because I think people like Spike and my father, had quite tough wartime experiences, and at the end of it, they couldn't believe that they weren't dead. So they kind of felt, but then they kind of felt there were I think he said there was a sense of people wanting to go back to the way things had been before the war again. No, we're not going to do that. This is our time. This is our world now. And a lot of the humor in the Goons was derived from wartime experiences. A lot of, quite, stuff that was for other people who had that experience. But Spike was just an authentic genius, and a lot of the references that, if you know a bit more about kind of British culture, I mean, there's stuff that even it took me a long time to work out, that about kind of the empire, the end of empire. So a lot of Spike's imaginations is formed by the tatty place that England was in, where it had all these kind of grand ideas of empire, and actually was just reduced to all this kind of, people more or less living in houses with cardboard roofs or whatever, And of course he had Spike, and Spike had Peter, who's another genius with the kind of, and
a chameleon.
Yeah. and so, I mean, my father's story, you were talking earlier about, not having any nerves. And my father said about Peter in particular, he said he was nerveless because he said had no fear of literally no fear of the audience, and he would do things in front of an audience, because they did do a couple of live tours. He would do things that he said I wouldn't want to try that. He had this kind of, and he said if you were standing next to him, this is on a microphone, and he was because he'd do all these multiple characters, Peter, in the shows. He said he would kind of physically kind of transform himself. He was kind of doing the voice. He'd become the whole kind of thing. And he said there was one particular impersonation he used to do, of a famous, someone, you know, a minor British comedian that you know is already forgotten.
Huh.
But he used this guy had a certain kind of look. He said Peter would just do this thing with his nose, and he said it was just him. It was there, you know. So he had this.
Seems like he doesn't know how to explain what.
Yeah, he couldn't. And this is the thing. And I think this is what people. I mean, I had the privilege actually of being at close quarters with real comic genius on a few occasions. One of them was Spike doing his stand-up show a mere 40 odd years ago, like 45 years ago. I don't bloody know, long time ago. And you just had. I can't describe it. It was the most amazing event. But he had this kind of majesty. When Spike was in full flow, and he was a good night. When he was on form. When he was off form, it was a nightmare, but he was on good form. And he had this kind of majestic sense. I've never seen anything like it. I did once, when I was young, meet Billy Connolly. I don't know if you know him. Do you know Billy Connolly?
Not at all.
Oh,
Seems like an Irish guy.
He's Scottish. If you don't know him, I'll send you some stuff. He's very funny. He's not well now. He's old. He's not well. He was a different generation.
No, I remember a joke. I was laughing for weeks.
What's that?
It was Segan. Like, hi, I'm Officer Segan from Scotland Yard. And they said, I didn't know Scotland has a yard.
Yeah, but you're describing obviously what, like someone like Peter Sellers, like that. All that you're saying just makes me think of Dr. Strangelove and what he does in that film.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. I mean, I don't see anyone else doing what he did in that movie, for instance. But and also, you know, the like you said, like Spike being that sort of intellectual writer, the guy with the genius, with the sort of content of it. So what was your dad's, like, what was your dad bringing into the Goons?
Do you know what?
Okay, I can respond that. He was a man of chaos, the Magnus of chaos. He was the soul of that show. It was like.
I'll tell you what he said. I'll tell you what he said his best contribution to the show was. This is his. He said, I stopped Peter and Spike from killing each other. I think sometimes physically held them apart. Well, I think it got quite fractious at times.
But yeah, he was like the middle ground of that show. He was like the main character of that show. It was like the Chapulín Colorado of that show.
He's the lead character. He's built as the lead character. Each show is his kind of the Ned Seagoon's journey. That's the thing. And,
but Seagoon is an idealistic hero.
Yes.
And
a British idiot.
I'm a brave man. Almost all the time when I'm not afraid.
But also your dad was very a powerful presence, right? Physically. Like he's just a very sort of powerful person.
Yeah, he had, well, I think he did have, I mean, it's like this thing about when I just mentioned Billy Connolly and Spike. And there's some, but what I'm saying about those people also applied to my dad, I think, was that there are some people and they can change the atmospheric pressure in a room just by walking into it. And he was one of those people. And I think people who, especially comedians, people who can be kind of on, and you kind of go, what's that? You know, and I think it's a very mysterious thing. And also the other thing, I mean, I remember my father talking about, I remember a long time ago, a group, him and some of his peers were other well-known comics, and they were famous by this point, you know. And they were talking about this guy, I mentioned him earlier, actually, when we were talking, Tommy Cooper, this other weird genius. And they were kind of they were talking about this guy, saying, but how can you describe it? How does he do that? Where does it come from? And you sit, and it's true. And they all had this thing. No, we can't explain why Tommy Cooper is like that, and he can't explain it either. It's just he's blessed, you know. He's just, and some people have this kind of thing. It's a very mysterious business.
You don't know how to explain.
No.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You just do it.
As your dad, I think your dad said, 4 madmen getting paid for being idiots.
That's about right. Yeah, that's right. because Mike Benteen at the start. Yeah, I knew Mike quite well. He was a lovely man as well.
And also, the historical importance of the Goon Show? It's a post-war show. How I get to the Goon Show myself, a guy from Dominican Republic, just investigating about kids show. Of course, the Goon Show is not a kids show, but I get to Muffin the Mule because Muffin the Mule has a purpose to get moral to kids in the post-war. You need entertainment to, I don't know, elevate the morale. Maybe I don't know, in some different countries, post-war time had different ways of people
coping. Yeah.
Coping. For example, here we had a civil war in 1965.
Yeah.
The post-war was like, Dominicans don't want to know about anything about war. Anything about war they avoid it at any way. So Dominicans, my grandma used to say that Dominicans hate two things: hurricanes and war.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because some people say the 1965 Civil War was an heroic thing, but for the average Joe, it was like 9 months without electricity, and maybe your neighbor that you say hi last night or you say good night last night, dead with all the stuff outside.
Yes. There's a lot of PTSD still in our society.
A lot of PTSD in that society. I remember the uncle of a friend of mine. He was a revolutionary, and he even can't cross driving from the naval base, and he's like, "Oh boy, no." He's still crouched when he see even a police or a military.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that guy is so traumatized.
Yeah, and the thing is that in our case, I mean, that's 65. That's not that far away in history. I mean, there's still a lot of people that are alive from that period of time. So that's why I usually point that out to you. I mean, that is still very fresh in our history, and the effects of it are still present, even though we hardly ever think about it. But the truth is, a lot of our political leaders, the older ones, and some of them are children of direct children, descendants from people that were involved in those revolutions. So we're still dealing with that.
But of course, a lot of comedy comes out of that, doesn't it? I mean, that's trauma. Trauma breeds comedy.
Of course. For example, in the we had a comedian, the pioneer of radio humor. It was Paco Escribano. Paco Escribano was so reckless, so irreverent in the dictatorship era.
Good luck.
Yeah, he was the lucky one. You know why? Because Trujillo's mother liked to listen to that guy every evening.
So he
even made a joke out of tone. He got in jail.
Really?
When that woman, that old lady, turn on the radio, and he's not there. He called his son. Why he's not in the radio?
My word, that's quite something, isn't it?
So it was like in a rush to get that guy out of jail. Where is in detention? Which jail? Where's police spot?
Blimey.
And that's how he got out of jail.
And he was lucky to get him alive, because I mean, the thing is that sometimes the people that were working for the dictatorship were even more ruthless than what Trujillo had ordered, or
Yes,
they were always trying to show off. So sometimes they would go beyond. Actually, a lot of people say that that's what happened with the Mirabal.
No.
They were ordered.
No, we can confirm.
Oh, okay.
He knew about that.
Okay. Because I had heard that maybe they were trying to impress him.
I know. Yeah, some people try to clean the dictatorship.
Yeah, of course.
He knew about it.
Of course.
He knew about it. But the thing is that when you have a 30 years old dictatorship, you become reckless. You start killing your own people. You start doing stuff that get your dictatorship weak, and you turn your own people against you because you're doing reckless stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, so a lot of people involved in the plot were basically
basically all of them were
had some personal vendetta, like you had killed one of mine, something like that. Yeah, it had. I mean, it really reached. I don't think that there was a family in this country that was not affected by some terrible event. So yeah, but
back to the BBC and post-war era humor. Muffin the Mule was a kids show.
Yeah.
To elevate the morality kids of the post-war.
Right,
many
right,
of them orphans, of course, and listening, watching the public television, the British Broadcasting Company, as a public television, and in the Goon Show, they make fun of the BBC. I don't know how they did it. Like, you don't make fun of your own broadcasting, but like, yeah, you're listening to the BBC for some reason.
This is the BBC. Well, see, the thing they did though, what actually happened, as far as I understand it, I mean, what my father said, was that it kind of there was a producer at the BBC who. I'm a bit vague actually as to how, but they kind of gave him a chance, and it was kind of like an experimental thing. And it was, I think, like a few things that have been very successful at the BBC kind of happened by accident, especially in comedy. This is true of Monty Python. It's true of even things like The Office, the BBC, the original BBC Office. That's true of that as well. Decisions were made when like sort of someone was on holiday. When things are like everyone was looking the other way, and all of a sudden something's on air, and it's like, oh, people like this. What is it? I don't know. Who commissioned it? I don't know. I think it was a bit like that to begin with the Goons, that it was almost on air sort of by mistake. And so supposedly, I mean, my father always told this story. I don't know if it's actually true, but always said that one BBC executive said, this Go On show, what's it all about?
Go On?
Yeah, this Go On show.
Also, the fake ads in the Goon. I have some written here. This program was recorded in the BBC canteen, where the food is under police guard. BBC coffee, made from the same beans used to fill beanbags.
I've got to tell you about the BBC canteen. I've got to tell you this story. Spike wanted, because he was a pioneer in sound effects, right? Sound effects on the radio, absolute pioneer. And he had this idea that he wanted to know what a sock filled with custard would sound like when it was thrown against a wall.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
And so he got the BBC canteen. He didn't tell them what he was going to do with it. But he'd been unwell, and so this cook very specially prepared this custard for him. And in front of this cook, in front of this woman in the cafeteria, he spooned it into one of his own socks.
Oh my God.
Before taking up to, and apparently it didn't sound like he thought it would. But.
Well, but I was thinking about there was, after, I guess, what happened with the BBC. The BBC modeled for many other countries the way that public media was conceived, and I do think there was a relationship between a lot of the things that happened, let's say, in Latin America. I don't know if you ever heard Les Luthiers in
Les Luthiers.
Yeah, they are a bit of like the Goons, but
musical Goons.
Yeah, they add.
Oh, I haven't heard these.
These are, because this is in Spanish. That's what I'm saying. That I can see some influence probably in that kind of stuff.
Like even in Spanish, we call the guy who fixed the instrument the luthier.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also,
what do you got there? You got
another
there.
joke.
Yeah.
Like, it's an effects explosion. Like, poof. What was that? Say Secombe. So Millie can say, the BBC budget running out. We apologize for the previous apology, which was unnecessarily sincere.
I know that one.
We apologize for not having anything to apologize for.
Yeah. Happy days. Yeah. No, it's. it was a shame, because I was a bit too young because I was born the year I think I was born the year the last Goon Show went out, the last regular one.
Well,
anyway.
but the way that's on YouTube.
Oh, but that's the ones on YouTube is the one that was done in the 70s. They did a one-off.
Ah, okay. So that
They
was
did-
like a reunion.
Yeah,
But that's pretty cool.
it is quite.
It's
cool, actually.
really cool.
Also, Peter Sellers saying, "This is the BBC Home Service. We now take you to the Sahara Desert." So Spike say, "No, we have done the desert. Put us somewhere cheaper." I think that they were making fun of, the North Africa campaign.
Yes, yes. a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff about that.
But wait a minute. So your work with the BBC then has nothing to do with any of that. You ended up working.
My stuff. Oh no, totally different. Totally,
Yeah.
Came a totally different direction, and also different, kind of
Context.
Context. Yeah. No, I was a photographer for the BBC, but not staff. I was just working on special projects.
So the more I liked about the Goon Show, just to finish the stuff with the Goon Show, was like they broke the fourth wall in radio.
Yeah.
They broke the fourth wall in radio.
Yeah.
Like making fun about the engineers of the BBC.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the thing is that what's interesting, because I listen. I mean, you listen to BBC Radio Now, for example. It's quite tame. It's quite pedestrian. It just seems like every now and again something comes along that really experiments with the form, and then things kind of go back to usual, go back to normal. It's a weird thing. I mean,
we have normal. We have Freddy Pérez Goico. Then normal radio humor. Then ¿cuál es tu versión? Then back to normal humor.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's true. Actually, like I usually, when people ask me, because I say, no, David's father was a very well-known comedian in the UK. Sometimes I use that reference of Freddy Pérez Goico. As I say, well, he was like a bit like him.
Yeah. Also his Sir Harry Secombe.
Yes, that's true.
That was much later.
Yeah.
Yes, you got a gong, as they say.
Yeah, of course. You get the knighthood before you do something.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but no. I suppose other things that the sort of, but obviously the big influence on Monty Python. There are actually influence on the Beatles as well, actually, because George Martin, the Beatles producer, he'd worked with the Goons. He worked when he produced some of the Peter Sellers' records.
Boy.
Yeah, that's and people like Bernard Cribbins and so that's the story. Apparently, the story goes that when the Beatles first did the first session with George Martin, they was, well, who else do you work with? Well, I work with Peter Sellers and the Goons. I went, you've worked with the Goons.
Yeah, that's impressive stuff.
Yeah,
your resume.
Yeah.
George Martin is called also the fifth Beatle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kick-ass producer.
Oh
yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. But if you don't know them, he did some records with Peter Sellers. There's two, I think. There's one called Songs for Swinging Sellers, and some of these things are on. Some of the sketches are on YouTube. This is the thing that they do, before videos and home media. What comedy for comedians would make records, and the ones that Peter did, the ones that he did with George Martin, they're really good. They're very funny, and they're often about making fun of things of the time. I'll send you a couple. You got to. There's a few things. I'll send you things you should. I mean, they're really good.
I would like that too. So the Goons had everything, dark humor, of course, because you are making fun of the post-war. FX, something really, really new in the radio, breaking the fourth wall, and also making fun of your own broadcaster.
Yeah,
and still, it's funny. I mean, that humor really, really edged well.
It has actually. And it's interesting because you listen to. I mean, I'm very interested in this because some of the things that were on at more or less the same time or just a few years before, you know, the Goons, you can still hear them. I mean, the UK, there's a radio channel that broadcasts all this ancient stuff. Right? You can still hear it. And some of it, most of them, they still broadcast the Goons. And I can, so, you know, usually it's like, I can turn the radio on. Oh, it's my dad, you know, great. But they broadcast some other shows, and it's like trying to decipher hieroglyphs or something. It's like listening, it's like, or, you know, it's so archaic and ancient and old. And it's like, what are they laughing at? Why are they laughing? This is so, you know, preposterously old, but the Goons seems it's still fresh and modern, I think. A lot of the same concerns, maybe. And, you know, say Spike and Peter, they're just geniuses.
Because happens, you know, I watch a lot of comedy, but before I start being a comedian, I watch a lot of sitcoms.
Oh yeah,
what happened with a lot of sitcoms? 2.5 Men, Friends, How I Met Your Mother, sure, but after watching all that, watching a lot of comedy, I started watching Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, Seinfeld, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Seinfeld, strange, because so many comedian friends told me, dude, you're gonna love it. But it's I don't catch Seinfeld. And it happens when you watch or you see something so original, so from the very, how I say la mata in English. We see something so original, all the comedy you watch, it comes from. Sometimes it's not funny to you because you have seen it in many ways.
Yeah.
So that happens to me with Seinfeld, but doesn't happen to me with the Goons. Happens with us with Tres Patines. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you understand Spanish enough.
No,
to know about Tres Patines.
No, I'm afraid not. No, I mean my Spanish is a bit of a.
It's a work in progress.
It's a sore point. Is what it is.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. We get you.
We will get there.
I'm so grateful that you're talking to me in English.
We get you in English. English it's easy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's easy.
It's easier than Spanish.
At least for American and British, for me it's easy. But when I can't stand the Australian English.
G'day. Well, it is. They do weird things to the vowels. They really do. I like Australians. I've been to Australia, but I mean they do sound weird.
I came here just a day, mate.
Oh my god.
We make fun about the word mate because Australia was a big ass jail.
Yeah,
it certainly was.
Yeah,
they don't like to talk about that, but it's true.
Yeah,
it was a big ass jail, so mate is inmate.
Yep,
indeed.
That's where that comes from.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I'm not. I'm joking. I don't know.
Yes, Australians.
So also when,
mind you, do you know?
No.
I don't know if you have you heard of Barry Humphries, otherwise known as Dame Edna Everage?
No.
Well, you've got to check her out. He died not long ago. He died. He was quite old when he died. If you don't know Dame Edna Everage, that's an Australian comic worth checking out. That was quite something. But I don't know how funny it would be now in a way. He made a lot of Australians very, very unhappy because he had two guys. He had another one. He had this actually much funnier character called Sir Les Patterson, who was like, I'll send you that stuff. The Australian cultural attaché. That was the joke. And this guy is just so disgusting.
Oh.
So disgusting. And I know my father spent a lot of time in Australia. He said that people used to get so angry about this character. It was so repulsive. And, it's like Australian culture is like venomous toads of Australia.
Oh my god!
I've got to send you some stuff. I think that's because that is quite funny.
Well, you were mentioning Tres Patines, which is basically a Cuban. Tres Patines is Cuban, right? It's
Tres Patines is Cuban.
A Cuban show
Pre-revolution, of course.
Yes. So
Pre-revolution.
yeah. So this
you
is
can't
like
have-
very early black and white TV.
Oh yeah.
And look, I mean, it's true what you say. I mean, it has become now part of like, those references. I don't know how much younger people know, but the thing is that our grandparents and parents were still listening to on the radio.
Yeah, on the radio.
On the radio, because it was recorded, but mostly it was listened to. Because I guess people also didn't have so many televisions.
No, I mean we had the first TV channel was Channel 4 in 1952
Mm-hmm.
to broadcast
Yeah, I suppose.
to I don't know, to nobody,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody had a freaking television.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Color Visión. Color Visión was in 1969 was the first TV channel to broadcast on color.
Mm-hmm.
When
Well,
no-
that's but that's
yeah,
I think
but
the
when
same time
nobody
as,
had
you
a
know.
color television.
Yeah. Well, the way it works in Britain, of course, is even now you have to. I tried to explain this to someone from America once, and they just couldn't get it at all. Which is what happens now. Is that if this is true, this is how it works. If you own a television set in Britain,
Yeah.
you have to buy a license.
No way.
It's true. That's how the
Mhm.
BBC is funded, by the license fee. So you buy a license, and if you don't buy a license, you can be prosecuted. And they used to have these vans with aerials go round, and they check if you were watching television and didn't have a license.
Mm-hmm. A TV license.
Yeah, I once had a call.
I
from
didn't
one.
know the
This-
BBC had their own Gestapo.
Yeah.
This is
Boy.
listen. This is the thing, and they used to run these little ads saying, if you're watching TV without a license, you have to keep one eye on the door. It's quite heavy actually.
The Trujillo
So
Volkswagen Beatles, they had the same system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you were listening to communist radio stations.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess that it does make a difference when I guess the country really has put so much value and effort in media for such a long time, because that's one thing that the UK has as a
Think,
very specific thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's even been the news. I'm saying this morning. It's been in the news recently, actually. About I'm not going to get specifics of it, but until. I mean, the thing is that the sort of big pre-satellite, technology. There were 3 stations until 1982. Then we got a 4th station, and actually 3 of those 4 stations are essentially government funded.
Gotcha.
And then about 10 years later, you get a 5th station. Then after that, it's the whole explosion of satellite TV, cable, all that business. But there is a sort of sense of national cohesion in a way that the BBC was very much part of. And so the BBC became, sort of, it's such a sort of embedded part of British life that it's hard to think of. This is going to sound silly, but I think in a way I find it kind of hard to think of Britain without thinking of the BBC.
That is
sometimes.
well, I mean, it is really definitely something that pretty much identifies British culture, at least
Yes.
since it's.
I mean, I've got that. I mean, going to the States, it was quite a few years ago now, but I remember when I was doing some stuff with the States and some photojournalistic work, and I was being sent by the BBC. And when some of my American colleagues found out, all of a sudden I was treated with great respect. And I felt a bit embarrassed by it. And some of them, but one guy said something interesting. He said he was saying this to me like it was a personal compliment, because he'd been reporting from the Gulf during the first Gulf War. And he said, well, if it wasn't for the World Service, we really relied on you guys, all this sort of stuff. So it does have that, I do, yeah. Anyway, there we are.
Well, I think it still has that effect. I mean, it still is one of the few sort of, I guess, like names in that you still associate with a certain.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky. I got to work with some when I was a photographer. I worked with around the documentary people a lot. I got to work with some really, really good, some of them classy.
Come on. I have seen Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II.
Yeah.
And when I see the credits, you're there.
Oh yeah.
You have a picture of the Queen.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Well, I did
Several pictures of the Queen.
Yeah, well, I worked on a project 30 years ago, a mere 30 years ago, where I was with a film.
Hold on. 30 years ago, we'll talk about 1995, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It was actually, this is
Just to make up your mind, guys.
Yeah.
We're talking about 1995.
Mhm.
No, it was actually this.
You're old.
This is
Not you. You people listening and watching here, you're old. It was 1995, 30 years ago.
90. I think it was actually 91.
30 years ago
91.
was in the 80s. It was in 1995.
Yeah.
Just remember, it was 1995. Okay, here.
Certainly, but okay. Yeah, no, it's a long story. But there was the BBC were doing a special project about the Queen for her 40th anniversary as a monarch, as Queen. So there was a small film crew who were traveling with her and going around with her, getting special access. And I was doing a book basically, and I was traveling with them. So I got to see some really interesting stuff at kind of close quarters. And I did subsequently to that, I did a couple of official portraits and things like that. So yes, it was very interesting. I mean, very stressful actually, because I was usually the one tripping over things and, sort of getting in the way. The film, I nearly got sacked because I kept getting in shot, and I had to use this special camera. It's called a blimp, and they use them on Hollywood film sets. But not many people have them usually, and it makes the camera completely silent because I was going to be filming around, microphones and stuff. But it may make the camera silent, but it also makes it huge. You're walking around with this big box, and you're very, very noticeable. And so that was, it was. I think it aged me, that whole thing actually. But yeah, interesting.
So how was the Queen?
Well, she was always very nice to me.
That's what you had to say about getting a gig, getting a photograph of the Queen, working with the Queen.
Well, the
10 meters of the Queen. I don't know, you use meters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They have the metric system.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yes, we have the metric system.
What do you
what do you want to know? I mean, she's very nice to me. That's all I can say. I mean, it's always very polite to me. It's like anything else. I mean, I do think the thing about, I mean, if you're in the presence of someone really, really world famous, I've often felt this. What was interesting, sometimes when I was looking at the pictures afterwards, is that how people react in the presence of someone like that is often very, very interesting. It's because you see people kind of and there was it was a very interesting thing. But I mean, all the stuff I was doing for the BBC, it was either big institutions, because I did a big project about the Royal Opera House at Covent Garden. I did a big thing about the Foreign Office. The foreign, and I did this thing about the royals, but I was also doing, a year in the life of a doctor, or going on fishing boats, and so it was either big institutions or this kind of being up to my arse in shit. So, but what you try to do is you try to keep the same approach. So you don't want to impose yourself too much. You just want to sort of blend in as much as you can. Which meant if you're photographing the royals, you just have to wear a kind of like a penguin suit or whatever, or a suit. You just have to, you just draw, yeah. So
have you read The Dream of the Celt?
The what? Sorry,
it's a book
by
Mario Vargas Llosa.
No, I have actually got one of his. I'm reading at the moment. Well, I have been reading several months, which is the. Oh, wait a minute. Say the title again.
The Dream of the Celt.
No,
I haven't.
He's reading the La Fiesta del Chivo. Yeah, the Party of the Goat. I don't know how they translate.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Something goat. Yeah. Okay, I haven't read that one. What's that one? What's that one about?
It's about Roger Casement.
Roger Casement.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't know it was written about him.
About his adventures in Peru and in
I
Africa.
didn't know he went to Peru. I didn't know Casement went to Peru.
What do you mean?
Roger Casement went to Peru.
Yeah, he went to Peru.
I didn't know that.
And Vargas Llosa is
Peruvian.
Peruvian, yeah.
Oh, I had
He
no
was in
idea.
Peru, in Africa, of
Mhm.
course, and a lot of contact with the foreign office, of course.
Well, it's interesting because, of course, Casement's a very controversial figure for all kinds. Because he did some. I mean, he was a hero in exposing all the Belgian Congo and all that stuff.
Yeah. And
But
also,
then
he did the same in what he did in Congo. He did the same in Peru. He was revealing, getting the people know
Colonial,
the
sort of-
colonial abuse
yeah.
and the Peruvian rainforest.
How interesting! I didn't know that at all. I know that. I mean, the thing is, what happened to him in the end was because he was hanged by the British because he was running guns to Ireland during the.
Yeah, the product of the book is him before getting hanged. The whole book is flashback.
Oh, that's real. I'll read
So
that.
he's
I don't know.
beloved in Peru, I'm assuming.
Because of Mario, he made sure the Peruvian know about his
That's cool.
history.
That's
He's
pretty cool.
a complex figure though, because of course there's also you know the Black Diaries. You know about that.
Yeah, he was super gay.
I've actually no. This is
Yeah,
I've
he
actually
was
got.
super,
I've
he
actually
was
got.
super
a,
gay in Peru. He was super
he
gay
was
in Africa.
he was pretty damn super gay. I mean,
Yep.
wherever he could be gay, he was super.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it was and of course this is very controversial for the Irish because they wanted to prove. I think there was a theory that the diaries were forged, but they're really not.
Yeah, he also wanted to try learn Gaelic.
Gaelic. Yeah.
Gaelic
Mhm.
is super hard to.
Mm.
Same,
No, just
same,
no.
Same. With, I don't know how they did it in
Oh, how interesting. Well, I didn't
how
know.
they did it in
talk-
Wales.
talk
How
about-
they did it in Wales.
Wales.
Yeah,
Well,
how they do that in Wales.
Well, how do they speak Welsh? Don't ask me.
Well,
They
your
speak
parents are Welsh.
They speak Welsh.
They speak Welsh in Wales. Yeah.
Yes.
We had
Yeah, Ellen.
Yeah.
Ellen.
One of,
I'm sorry, I mentioned her name, but it's okay. She's an actress.
N. Reese is who we're talking about. Lovely girl.
She's
She's done
an
very well.
actress in the U.
She was staying. She was a lodger at the same time as we
Keep going.
as
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
okay. I'll finish wrap this up. Shall I?
I'm good. You're good.
Okay. Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
The reason I'm saying talk about Ellen or N Reese as she is now. She's from Wales, from North Wales, and she's a Welsh speaker. So when her family came to visit, they would speak Welsh.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see, my parents were from South Wales, on a much earlier generation, and they didn't speak Welsh. But it's much more common now to speak Welsh. So if you go to Wales, you see signs in English and Welsh. And the Welsh language is so complicated and has these fantastically long place names. In fact, I think the longest word in the English language is that. Yeah. I can't. Not even
That
gonna
place
try.
in Wales.
That
place.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
place became
But
a
it's
meme.
like
That
it's-
place became a meme in Latin America.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you even pronounce that?
Yeah, no, it's something. And but Welsh I do like the sound of it though. It's nice.
I mean, it's
It's like it just feels very like, I don't know.
So this has a lilt to it.
Yeah, it's soft.
But also the Welsh
I mean,
accent, the Welsh
it's not it's not long. It's complicated. Look,
Yeah.
in Spanish, like the Spaniards, conquistadors,
Mm-hmm.
they also had a long name. For example, El Salvador is Nuestra provincia de Nuestro Señor Jesucristo,
Oh, yeah.
El Salvador del Mundo.
Mhm.
That's long,
Mhm.
but not complicated.
Yeah, it's
like
just a
the
lot
province
of
of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of descriptions,
Mm.
sentences, pretty much. Not long words, but like compositions of words.
Yes,
Bu-
yes.
Buenos Aires, Nuestra Señora del Buen Aire.
Yeah,
It's like good airs.
and also like everything has to have like at least for Santo Domingo de Guzman.
The Guzman is not in the name of the city.
Not really.
Not really.
So where does that come from?
Well, in the episode before this episode,
Okay, so we'll
If-
watch it.
it's about the myth of
Ah.
from the foundation of Santo Domingo.
Oh yeah.
The Dominicans. When I say the Dominicans, I'm talking about the religious order.
Yes.
They make sure that they were part of the foundation of Santo Domingo, but it's not. So they put from De Guzman to link the foundation of Santo Domingo with Santo Domingo, the saint. But Santo Domingo, the saint, doesn't have anything about the Santo Domingo, the city.
It's very strange because actually that is such a nebulous subject. I mean, we have the name Santo Domingo and almost no one even learns in school why.
Balaguer added in 1966 Santo Domingo de Guzman to make more poetic.
Yeah.
But no, it's just Santo Domingo.
Okay. Plain old Santo
Also,
Domingo.
Oscar helped me with that.
But wait a minute. So then where does it come from if it's not the Dominicans? Well, we'll watch the podcast.
Domenico Colombo.
Oh, really?
Domingo was the father of Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
So you say, okay, I'm going to name the city after my father. Well, we got to put it in a religious disguise, so it's Santo Domingo.
Okay. Yeah.
I see.
They did do a lot of things because they were far away, and the
San
queen.
Cris-
And you know what?
Even San Cristobal. San Cristobal.
Yeah.
San Cristobal Colon.
Oh.
So they named city Saint Christopher.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, it does help that the Spanish were naming people after
Yeah.
Christian figures, apostles.
But you kind of expect that, wouldn't you? I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you disguise it as a saint, nobody can speak anything about you because hey, that's Saint Christopher. So it's a saint.
But
It's a
I
real
do
saint.
think that the queen in Spain was very lenient with Columbus and all those people. I think she was like, oh, here they come again, these lunatics.
Yeah.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Like, you just don't be assholes. You know. And
That's
she was young and she was like, you know what? I didn't even think you were gonna get there. So you do you, okay?
Oh, it's like that part of Jurassic Park. Oh, he did it. The crazy son of a bitch did it. No way he did it.
I know. Do you know what the thing about Jurassic Park? What surprises me is you think that they established in the first film that it's a really bad idea, and they keep doing it, and it always goes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
And
you
it's
think
always
this is
the
not
same
a great
idea.
business model.
No,
Actually,
but-
just to have
no,
guys.
we
Like,
have the
we're going to do it again.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, we're gonna do it again. This
This time we're going to do it bigger.
right. No, we do it right. It's like doing a socialist regime. We are doing a communist regime, but this time we're going communist regime right.
Exactly.
And to start, the human being have a selfish, inherent nature. So any socialist society start with a dictatorship because we have to force people to be less selfish.
Yes.
And just someday, we can be better people. And I'm not drunk.
No, you're not. No, you've got a little coffee there. It's all.
I
It's
just drank
all there.
coffee.
Well,
So yeah, they have Jurassic World, it's a theme park with a big ass dinosaurs that can get out of that place and kill people again.
Yeah, all those character actors who are doomed. You can see in the first few minutes. Oh, he's going to get.
Yeah.
At least-
you see that guy's gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it keeps the jobs there for the people that need them.
It's often the British character actors. They say, "Well, can you do him? Get rid of him first." I'm not going to name names.
Just watch the films.
So I'm trying to connect with you. I can't do that with football because I really like the
Are you a fan?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
a fan of the Premier League.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Well, see, I live in Crystal Palace, and of course, our team
boy.
did very, very.
I don't want to talk about that.
We did very well recently.
We lost the last
pubs.
three. We lost the last 3 games with Crystal Palace.
We were in the.
I
people
started
were
hating
celebrating-
that team.
People were celebrating in the pubs and going, "What's this about?" Oh, the football team.
Hey, they had to celebrate when they won. Because, hey,
It's a one in a
it's
lifetime.
big thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they won the FA Cup last year.
Yeah. I know.
Well, not last year. Last season.
Isn't Ted Lasso?
It's filmed at the ground, Crystal Palace ground.
Yeah.
That's what the show that it's supposed to be Richmond. So that when they visit the town, it's Richmond, but the ground they use is actually the Crystal Palace ground, which is not immediately in Crystal Palace. Just
Selhurst Park.
Selhurst Park. That's right. Knows his football.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm not a hooligan. You know the stuff about hooligans?
Well,
We have Latin American hooligans.
do we?
Yeah, in Boca Juniors in Argentina.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, definitely.
Every time Boca Juniors won, they won the championship. They broke the McDonald's next to the corner.
Nice, man.
And like, what you gonna do now? We're gonna celebrate. How you gonna celebrate? We're gonna break the McDonald's like it's done.
Trash the McDonald's.
Like we should.
Yeah.
But why you broke the McDonald's? Because I don't know. It's a capitalist company.
Britain was England in particular. In the 70s and 80s, we led the world in football hooliganism. We were pretty horrendous.
Yeah,
Especially
notorious hooligans.
Bad news.
Yeah, especially the derbies.
So the
derbies. Derbies is when a team is from the same city and they face each other. It's called a derby.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay.
For example, we have the East London Derby, the West London Derby, North London Derby.
Yeah, very tribal that stuff. I mean, because
of course.
I sometimes if you have to go, out up towards Wembley on the day of a big match. The atmosphere on the trains and stations can be really intense. Yes.
It's very intimidating, especially for people that are not from that culture. I have to say, whenever I lived there and I was somehow ended up in the middle of a moment like that, it did feel very scary.
It is scary. It scares me. I mean, I'm from there, but it's like, it's not comfortable.
It's a very, very aggressive energy.
In Italy, Lazio and Roma, they share the same city, but they're more organized. They have an alley to face each other.
Just go there.
So they go there. They say, "Hey, let's see you in that alley at 3." So we beat the shit out of each other.
Great.
You can see punches, teeth in the air, wine bottles.
Yes,
a lot of wine bottles.
Wine bottles.
More than they should.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, no, it's I think the football's become more a bit more civilized in the UK, but it needed to be. So it's kind of it's not as bad as it used to be.
You like Doctor Who?
Sorry,
Doctor Who. You like it?
I'm not really a big fan.
No way.
No way. I'm not a huge fan. Although I did once meet Tom Baker. You know Tom Baker?
Tom Baker?
Oh, you don't know? Oh, he was an earlier doctor.
Like
the third?
What's the third one?
No, earlier.
Earlier. He was.
When did this show begin? Because it's very old.
It began in the 60s.
The 60s.
He was one of the more popular doctors. He was a doctor in the 70s.
We have the 17th Doctor, I guess.
Yeah.
17 doctors.
He's the guy that was in Sex Education right now playing.
Right now, we have
playing him.
Yeah.
Tom Baker. Just while I remember it, actually, Tom Baker has. I'm going to send this to you. I'm going to find it and I'm going to send it to you. A few things I'll send you, but I must send you this because he wrote. There used to be a thing in the Sunday Times, the London Sunday Times. They had a magazine, and they had this thing called A Day in the Life, and they'd ask a celebrity, what's your day like, and they asked Tom Baker, who, apart from being Doctor Who, was a very successful voiceover artist. So he spent his day in Soho studio, voiceovers, doing voiceover. He had this very distinctive voice that I can't do, with a very distinctive voice. And he wrote this incredibly honest A Day in the Life of Tom Baker. And it basically involved going from studio to pub to studio to pub in Soho all day and bumming amphetamines off people and all this stuff. And there's a picture of him, great picture of him in the French house. It's a famous thing. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. It's right up your street.
Well, we now have a bit of a list of things you have to
do.
send.
I
hope you don't forget.
I won't.
Okay.
I'm gonna go home. And I'm gonna write this down.
Yeah.
What's happened? You're dry?
Sorry? I'm
dry of writing?
Writing. I'm writing. Yes, I am writing.
You're still writing, right?
I'm still writing. Yeah. I've written a few things since I've been here. But I mean, what's going to happen to them? I don't know. But I'm writing. Yeah. I've few plays, and things. I've got. I had a friend of mine organised a Zoom reading of one of the plays I wrote. So that was useful. That happened since I was here. So we'll. But whether or not any of them will actually see the light of day properly, I don't know. It's too early to tell. My son's an actor, and he's quite good. There's one play I've kind of written with him in mind. I'm seeing if he wants to do that. So we might try and sort something out about that in London soon, hopefully. And that actually is a play set in a pub. That one. That's all about. It's about a date night in a pub. So, a guy who's meeting.
How you try a pub here?
Sorry, have I tried?
We need to find. We need to do that.
You do bars rather than pubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, we haven't actually been to any of the pubs. There are not that many either in Santo Domingo.
Well, the Irish pub is not exactly an Irish pub. It's more like a bunch of people drinking.
Well, yeah. Let's take a look at it.
It's
well, maybe we can go together. Maybe the
I'd
next
be
time
delighted.
we
I'd be
would just
delighted.
go
Yeah,
I
and
will be delighted.
yeah.
I can see if I can see any real Irishmen drinking there. So
Well,
I can phone my Irish friend. I can phone my Irish friend Michael.
Yeah, we drink brown drinks.
Brown drinks.
We drink brown drinks. We're on the Caribbean.
yeah,
We drink rum.
yeah.
Like
That's delicious. I mean, it's delicious,
like
but it gives.
Caribbean man.
Yeah.
We drink coffee with brandy.
Do we?
My dad do it.
Okay.
Do you know, actually, I tell you this. Actually, the Goon Show, they used to drink because on the BBC you weren't supposed to bring alcohol into the recording space. So what they used to do is they used to drink milk with brandy in it. So, and actually, there's
Milk with brandy.
I mean, it doesn't sound that great, does it?
Breakfast of champions.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
There's one in particular. And
Everybody has a. I think everybody has a breakfast of champions. But
Yeah.
you have a breakfast. What's your breakfast of champions?
Well, my breakfast of champions is pretty much just coffee. That's it. What else? I don't know. I'm not that cool that way. No.
Not that cool. You have something. Everybody had something odd for breakfast.
Let me see.
Not
Things
every day, of course.
I know, but
need
a
to keep it
weird
healthy.
choice for that sometimes I feel like having for breakfast. I don't know. I almost have I don't have breakfast. I'm one of those people that
You don't breakfast. So
no.
if
If I have a lot of breakfast, a lot for breakfast, I get very sleepy like at 10.
I think
Happens to me.
but I think what Julio is you're talking about the idea of like the hangover breakfast, aren't you? Or the kind of
No, I mean like some people eat like cold pizza for breakfast. They like that kind of
well,
stuff.
that's a kind of class of hangover.
I
breakfast.
I mean, I
think.
could have a pizza for breakfast, I have to say, and I have actually.
my breakfast of champions is a sparkling nice coffee with caffeine, a kibe,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and a painkiller.
Oh, wow.
My breakfast of champions is when I have a headache.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So
When I have a headache, I go to my breakfast of champions. I boost myself with caffeine because also my painkillers have caffeine
Yeah.
because they're for the migraine. And I'm right.
Then you are.
Well, I think
I'm new.
Yeah.
I'm new.
Well,
shiny and
basically,
new.
the thing is that in my case, I am nonverbal before I have coffee. I literally cannot speak.
You're one of those.
Yeah. Well, yes,
David,
he knows.
what about you? What's your breakfast of champions?
Well, I would if I mean, I don't drink very much these days, but if I was really hungover and I was able to go to a cafe, what would be I would like a full English breakfast. So that's
boy.
bacon, sausage, potatoes, chips, basically. Beans, fried egg, a black coffee, and a Bloody Mary.
Holy shit, you like that? you like the British breakfast? You like the full British?
Well, look, listen. I
You
mean,
like the full British? You really like the full British?
well, first of all, I have to say that you can find good food in London.
What I didn't say you.
That wasn't his question.
That wasn't the question. That was the question.
Well, look, the full English breakfast I never could totally do, right? And so also finding a good one is not that easy.
There's a very good run.
Okay,
up the
but
court from me. That's where
I
we
do
get-
have to say,
Sorry.
I'm a big fan of the roast. The Sunday roast
Sunday roast.
is delicious. If you got, I mean, it's a good meal. But the breakfast, well, I mean, I find the beans too sweet, and the combination of the beans with all that stuff.
You need the kind of the protein and fat, a sort of bolus of protein and fat, and sort of swimming in grease with a coffee, and then
goodness.
preferably just a little sharpener, and then you can feel yourself transforming back into a human being.
Yeah,
great.
I'm sorry, I have seen the full British. Seems like something tasty. But
It is. I mean, look, if
seems like
It's a heart attack on a plate.
seems like a war meal.
yeah, it has
I
that
had a friend of
vibe.
mine. He said, "Sorry, a super funny comment.
Yeah.
Those British, they eat like the Nazi Germany still bombed them."
It's true.
Hey,
yeah.
Well,
I'm
there's a
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
the thing is that my experiences with food in the UK, I think like for a lot of people, I'm sorry, but like there is a bit of a cultural shock with that, especially when you come from parts of the world like this one.
But hold on,
Mm-hmm.
doing some introing myself. The Dominican breakfast is not something that we actually really need to show off.
No, and also not.
I mean,
It's not for everybody.
We have smashed plantains,
Mm-hmm.
fried cheese, eggs, and salami.
Yeah,
It was.
I know, and Dominican salami,
Dominicans, yeah,
Which is-
Dominican salami.
Yeah.
which is not
It
exactly.
was a little the smashed plantain. I found a bit strange to begin with. Must say.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
It's not quite what I was expecting. But I mean, no, I
likes Maduro or
No, he just doesn't like too much the plantains. Only like the fried ones. Sometimes
fried plantain.
the platanitos.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good. I'm a big fan of mango though. So whenever I'm gonna go nuts and have like a heavy breakfast, I prefer it to be that. But the thing is, if I have that, I cannot work. Like if I if I have that, bowl of plantain with fried stuff and avocado and all the things that people add, I mean, I'm just gonna go to sleep again.
No, Melissa, we have a problem. You can live like that. You can eat and struggle food to struggle.
Yeah, it's true.
You need good food
That's true.
to develop.
There's one thing I want. I've just changed something. It just occurred to me. I want to. I'll get this in before we finish because you know my father's in the film Oliver. Did you see that?
Oliver?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. No. I was just gonna. If you just didn't know if you knew that. No, it's okay. Don't worry. I'll send you a little something else. I'll send you because that's quite a famous scene in the movie. And my sister is currently in London. She's in the West End playing in the musical of Oliver, and she's playing opposite.
Hold on.
It's a long. It's just basically a little sort of shout out for my sister, really, who's currently in London's West End, in a musical that was associated with my dad. So she was very.
We're going Seth Rogen territory now. No, Joe Rogan. With the length of the podcast, I mean.
No, because Joe Rogan's like 3 hours.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not that kind of guy. I mean, I like the long format.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually know how long we've been here.
That's what he was asking.
1 hour 37.
Oh, okay. It's gone very fast. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, when you enjoy the conversation, time's flying.
Yeah, time's flying. Well, actually, when we used to do the podcast, we had 1 hour. And that was the time we were allotted.
Yeah,
and
you were
every
on newspaper.
And every time they were like, "You have 5 minutes." We were like, "Seriously? We just begun the conversation." It happened all the time. Usually, the guests themselves were like quite shocked. So
yeah, it happens when you are under a corporative umbrella.
Yeah,
and you have to follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my podcast.
You can do what you
like.
like.
Do what I want. Because my podcast.
Well,
Having your own podcast.
so there you go.
This is the first podcast I've ever done. I've been very, very flattered to be invited. I enjoyed it.
So welcome to the Soviet Socialist Republic of my podcast. Also, that's the traditional greeting when I say to greet to to a guest, like, hey, welcome to the Soviet Socialist Republic of my podcast.
Yeah.
And people, like, I cracked their eyes with that.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my God.
Well, admit it does feel a little bit like that. There's a lot of freedom
There's a lot
in
of
the
freedom.
format. So
Yeah, there's a lot of freedom in my domains. You have the freedom to do in my domains,
yeah.
but that's it. You feel like you're free, but that's what I want. That's what I want you to feel. Feel
I meant freedom for you. I didn't mean freedom for
I know. I make you feel free too.
Okay.
I want to make you feel free too.
Okay.
So
It's a liberated zone.
yeah,
It's the free republic.
but I don't feel free in the city. I hate it. You love the city?
I don't see that much of it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. My Spanish is really it's not very functional, and this is not an easy city to walk around because I walk a lot in London, and I kind of find we have to get a cab or my darling wife has to drive me somewhere. We have to, so so I kind of it's. I mean, some of it, the old towns and where we were with Oscar.
Oh yeah,
That's very interesting.
we were in Ciudad Nueva. But the
calle.
Mm-hmm.
Those places are interesting. I like that. I'd like to see more of it, really. I don't know. I think I know it that well, really.
Yeah, because it's one of the biggest difficulties for anyone here that's not used to being in a car all the time. Is that we move from one place to the other in a car all the time, and that has been, I guess, one of the worst parts to adjust to for you, coming from a city where people just walk and you.
When I visited Los Angeles all those years ago, I thought, well, I could speak English, but also I could hire a car, and so you and I think. But it's funny how you get used to things and how you think, you really do need you need a car to do even quite basic things, actually. I mean, I think I could, there's maybe a couple of shops nearby I can walk to, but in some cases, they're quite long walks.
Yeah. And also the thing is that I personally don't feel, and I don't think you're interested either, like comfortable of him driving here, because the thing
I'm not driving here.
Yeah, that's the problem, because it is, I mean, if at least, driving, because it's such a necessity, was safer, but then walking is not safe, driving is not safe.
I can't imagine him. Hey, why are these people in the wrong way?
Well, it's
because the right or right way. You British guys do it.
Look, I know that's a weird perversion that we do. I know this. Us and the Japanese. What am I going to say? But I mean, but it's your friend Marcus. Marcus was saying it.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Marinas. I don't know if you know.
Yeah,
he was talking to me about. He said he wanted to do a. I'd like to visit Britain. I'd like to do a tour, maybe drive around. I think that'd be very good. I said, but the thing, driving on the other side of the road, I mean, I'm worried about. I said, look, if you can drive in Santo Domingo, you can drive anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
on
seriously.
any side of the road.
Yeah, I mean, and so I mean, the first time I came here, and you were driving me around,
Yeah.
and I would just sit in front of the passenger seat, going, "Oh my God!" Then you get to the next intersection. Oh my God! And then she said, "You've got to stop that."
Yeah, I told him, listen, if you're going to say, oh my God, you're going to be saying, oh my God, a lot. So you got to
I just had to swallow my anxiety.
Yeah, just don't overthink it.
But I love the tube. I love the metro you've got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really sweet. That's a nice thing.
It's a replica of the Madrid metro.
The Madrid metro.
Yeah, it's the same. I was in Madrid. I was like, where I am. I was confused. I was like, okay, I was dreaming that I was in Madrid. Of course, I was dreaming. The drinking was cheap and the food was cheap too. Of course, I was dreaming. Now I'm in Santo Domingo. Then I saw the people. No, I'm not in Santo Domingo. I'm not dreaming. And in Madrid with the same metro. So after that, I learned that the same people that made the Madrid metro, they made the Santo Domingo metro.
But also, he's been on the cable card.
Yeah, I did.
You have. I mean, I think you have spent a lot of time with Marco Varina.
Yeah, and me.
Yeah.
Those idealistic architects really like the public transportation.
We do.
And they celebrate it.
Yeah, of course.
They celebrate it.
I say it's
It's
great.
important.
I really
look,
like Marco Varino.
No.
I want him in the podcast.
So who's this? I have to tell you
yeah,
that is.
for sure. We can tell him to come.
So
He loves this kind of stuff.
Marco Varino, why do you like the public transportation so much?
And he will give you a very good explanation.
Oh,
Look,
Marco-
I
I want the long explanation.
yeah,
And I want the explanation, Marco Varino, why we should hate Santo Domingo. You really like Santo Domingo?
he does.
This
He really
is-
likes Santo Domingo?
Of course he does.
This Mark Hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Marcos.
see it again.
But I mean, there's a lot to like. The problem of Santo Domingo is not. We have a lot of good things, but the problem is how poorly administered it is as a city. And that's pretty much it. And that has devolved over time into the chaos that we're in.
Yep.
But I think it has a lot of potential myself. I do. I believe in its potential. It's right there. We just need to know how to, we need to put effort in it. It has to become a priority.
They have some kind of really high-tech things. I mean, the whole thing of drive-through banking. Never seen that in London. Never seen that anywhere.
Yeah, we shouldn't have a. I don't
Ah,
think
it's an amazing idea.
I don't think as a drive-through bank as an achievement. That's not an achievement.
Oh, I don't know.
That's a survival.
again-
That's
at least you said- at least-
survival
That's
measure.
again
At least
the
you have-
city and the companies prioritizing the car.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yes, there is that. But if you're going to do that, then you might as well. I mean, yeah, I know what you mean. I think. What can I tell you? What can I tell you?
Anyways.
You know why you don't have a drive-through bank in London? Because you don't guys need it.
Yeah.
No, that is the thing. It's
You have very good walk-through systems.
Very good weather to walk.
There are. I mean, there
Yeah,
are some.
as well.
There are some British cities that were designed around the car, like Birmingham, famously, but which they wrecked it. But you could visit Birmingham. Actually, I mean, I'm not going to compare the two cities. This is a much bigger place. But yeah, it's. Well, every city has its problems.
Mhm. Well, we will invite you from now to something that we are going to. That is his idea, and
What's
he
your
also
idea?
does walkabouts with. He organized walks.
Yeah,
And we're going to invite you to be a part of it. We're planning to do one of the Godfather, where the Godfather was shot in the Santo Domingo.
Oh yeah.
The different spots.
I know in my walkouts,
Mhm.
I have some parts of that movie.
Mm-hmm. So
So-
we're going to include because he's very curious about El Embajador, which we still haven't gone and seen.
Well, the Embajador is pretty much the same as
As it was then, yeah.
it was then,
Mm-hmm.
and wow, that was expensive.
Expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the Embajador was part of a big ass expo that cost the people of the Dominican Republic 1/3 of the national budget.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Ah.
ruined,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and we had a lot of sanctions from the United Nations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and all that stuff because Trujillo was when trying to kill presidents outside.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's
he
true.
tried to kill the Venezuelan president Romulo Betancourt,
Mm-hmm.
and then more sanctions.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, after those sanctions, look at that, let's do an expo.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do
Oh,
an
I
expo.
see. So I didn't know that was.
Well, the Venezuela pavilion is still up, by the way.
Yeah, Venezuela
You
Pavilion
you saw it.
was still there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What are you gonna do about the Venezuela Pavilion?
Well, the Society of Architects was given to the Society of Architects, but
They have years in that.
I know. I mean, I am not a representative of that team of people, but I mean, yeah. At least it was rescued because it was going to be torn down. When the Society of Architects fought for it, ended up receiving the sort of the building
The Venezuela Pavilion was even a Chinese restaurant with disco and karaoke.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yep,
Yeah. And now it's just empty.
it's empty.
We used it as a parking lot.
yeah, I know
when
the
he
one
was
you're
getting
talking
his residence permit
Yeah.
in the immigration office.
But
It did seem like a little sad. I mean,
no,
A
it's
little?
a little sad. It's
Little
completely
sad.
sad.
completely.
It's a big monument to sadness.
Yep, kind of, yeah. Kind of. I mean, yeah, potential. Remember.
Yeah, potential. But they have years with those representatives of the Society of Artists. Yeah, we're doing it. We are doing it. And I don't want to get you in trouble. It's mine because I made an infographic about the expo,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
how they cost us, they cost to us,
Mhm.
and how is now. Right now, it's a bunch of buildings
Mhm.
because it was an expo with permanent buildings,
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of hotels to receive people from around the world
Mm-hmm.
to go to the expo. People that didn't come, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of hotels: Santo Domingo Hotel, Hotel
Mhm.
Paz, Hotel Embajador. To I don't know, Trujillo make parties and film The Godfather.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I knew because it's a big hotel, isn't it? I mean, because we drove and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's where you know, Al Pacino and John Cazale. I did all
Well,
that, but it's like
but
it's a huge hotel.
When the
Mhm.
Al Pacino and John Casal, that is in the Zona Colonial.
Also.
Also in the Zona Colonial.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's on the Schizophrenia Palace.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah.
right. Because they
There's
that's
like a
right,
cafe called the Schizophrenia Palace.
Yeah.
When a bunch of writers they make a lot of I would say tertulia. How to say,
Yeah, like
a lot of chit chat.
conversations that became
from
very
generation-
very active and
From
lively.
generation to
Mm.
generation of writers, and a bunch of those writers, even they have a cartoonist, it's Harold Priego.
Mm-hmm.
From generation to generation, they made a coincidence. They made a coincidence. I don't know. They
coincided.
coincided
Go inside it.
Yeah.
from there. So they have a lot of pictures from them in the walls,
Right.
and also we ran out of time.
And on that bombshell.
Yeah, I really extend myself a lot. I'm going to apologize to Miguel for that.
Well-
There was a big chance for me, and
But bear in mind that we can always do more things together, like that walkabout and
Yep.
any other things
Well, it's
that
been,
we can think of.
well,
And-
thank you
the
very
other
much for
things,
inviting me.
and just
Mhm.
like
I've enjoyed it enormously.
not an occasion we can chit chat about that.
Of
I'll
course, of
send
course.
You, I'm going to send you
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
also,
are-
we have other things to talk to you
You
about
have
as
a lot
well.
of homework about sending me stuff that I really really want to know.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a Beatles fan.
Okay, well,
You like you like Brit rock?
Do I like what, sorry?
Brit rock. Like,
Brit rock.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm not a big fan, but I like some things.
mhm.
I'm trying to look things in common.
Yeah,
Look
but you
for-
have a
with
lot.
me.
Don't you
I
worry.
think we have quite.
Don't you worry.
I'm trying.
No, listen.
But
no,
my
look,
connection with UK is like football, the Beatles. Much like
I tell you,
football on the British, most like football on the Beatles.
Well, that's okay. I mean, now you also know Harry Secombe's son, so
It's-
now you can say that
It's
too.
a sort of it's kind of. But no, I'm gonna send you. I've got some things I think you'll be interested in. I'll send you all
Mm.
kinds of different things.
So to my audience, see you next week. And
Thank
see you guys
you.
later.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thanks so much
Enjoyed it enormously.
for being here.
Thank
2
you.
hours. And I'm sorry for DBC Network for these 2 hours that they have to edit.
Hey, do
Yeah.
do you want me to read the weather forecast or anything? It'll be windy.
Not
with-
raining now.
it'll be not raining. There'll be no hurricane this week. Next week.
And this is not Jamaica.
So see you guys.